this is Overlord Nigel, and here for another deck check. This is my Nature Hero deck. Now, this deck is up for a bit of a revamp. It's a bit old, but I thought, hell, why not just go through it anyway. So, start with the monsters. Elemental Hero Stratos. His effect to bring out other elementals to your hand, or to destroy spell and trap cards if you've got the elementals you want. Always useful, always pretty good. Bit of a staple in this deck. Woodsman, along with Ocean, pretty good because they recycle polymerizations and elemental heroes lost in the previous turn. Voltic, once you've cleared the field, you can use Voltic's special ability to bring back removed from played monsters that you've probably lost using Future Fusion, or if you're like me, always seem to end up with removed from play decks. Elemental Hero Heat is attack building is absolutely beautiful at points, because if you've managed to stall for a few turns to get a field out, then you've got a pretty tough beat stick there. Ice Edge is mostly there for either fusion or to do a little bit of niggledy-piggledy damage. Hero Plasma, very helpful, because if you need a certain card, he can become that card using his effect. Elemental Hero Captain Gold. Gets Skyscraper out, which gives me the advantage, and if I got Skyscraper, it's a brilliant 4-star beat stick. Keenosp, again, mostly there for fusion, but if you can get the attacks in, you know, it slowly builds up, slowly becomes a bit more powerful. And Lady Heat, I only have one Lady Heat. Not much of a burn sort of style player myself, but you know, get her out on the field. A lot of strong elemental heroes, maybe some sort of stalling techniques, and you've got a nice little burner. And Winkaribo, this deck was originally built around Jaden's deck from the manga, and I think it's cute. Please don't judge me. Right, now spells. Pot of Greed, sort of staple in any deck really. We've got Polymerization, again, fusion dependent deck needs polymerizations. Miracle Fusion, same sort of thing. Because you will go through cards fast in this deck, sadly. Now Skyscraper, always good to have a field card that gives you the advantage but doesn't give them the advantage. And if you're just playing Elemental versus someone else, you're fine. Unfortunately, Elemental versus Elemental, a bit iffy, but you know, see how it goes. Monster Reborn, enough said really. Emergency Call, brilliant for getting the cards you need out into your hand to fuse. Our Righteous Justice, again, useful for taking out spells and traps. Don't have much in the way of taking out spells and traps, so obviously whatever I can put in there is always helpful. Skyscraper 2, now that one's in there, sort of a bit of a game turner. It depends how the game's going, to depending on how I actually use it, or if I use it at all. On traps, Dark Bribe, it's a staple you'll see in nearly all my decks, is a Dark Bribe or two. Or generally because, again, spell and traps, it's pretty much stops everything dead. But unlike Solomon's Judgment, doesn't risk your health points. When you run a low health point games, like I've involved in, the last thing you want to do is sacrifice a lot of what little you got left. Hero Signal, again, gets cards out of the deck, always helpful. Magic Cylinder, along with Mirror Force, and, well, as well as Draining Shield, really. It's just to be a nuisance and to sort of give yourself that little bit of stalling. Maybe protect that one card you want to keep on the field. For example, Lady Heat in my case. Negate Attack, again, just a staller. Now, the main strategy with this deck, which I'll go into before I get the fusions out, is basically get the monsters out, fuse them to get the right monster for the right situation. Now the beautiful thing with Elemental Hero, whether that be normal Elemental Hero, Nature Hero, or even Neos, is that they're an adaptable deck. Now the idea basically is that you adapt your strategy around what the opponent is doing. So if they're playing Lockdown, you've got Ice to do piercing damage and stuff like that. You know, if they're playing Beat Stick, you can always use Sub-Zero's effect. So, you know, it's kind of a change here, change there, really. So, anyway, back to the proper way of doing things. Next, fusions. Fusion! Right, now, my fusions. Elemental Hero, Tetrafirma, running so many Woodsman and Oceans, kind of got to expect that out. Also, as mentioned by HBK Adam, his effect is very useful when put with Absolute Zero for wiping out the field. Now, with Elemental Hero Grand Tornado, his effect basically is to half the attack and defense of all my opponent's monsters. Again, if they've got a big beat stick out, put that out, and most of them don't know what to do. Gaia's effect, which can be helpful, quite helpful at points, is to half the attack of one monster and add it to him. Meaning that if those two monsters collide, you guarantee to do 2,200 life point damage, which in 8,000 is quite a lot. Hero Infernos, they're mostly just to pull something heavy out if I just happen to have Lady Heat in the hand. And the Shining, obviously as the game goes on, I'm going to be putting more cards removed from play. So if I pull the Shining out, he gains attack for every monster in the graveyard. Oh no, sorry, removed from play. Which means that he can be actually quite powerful. The one good thing about the fusions in here, yeah, I know there's a few fusions still missing from the series. As I said, this deck's getting upgraded. Is that it requires one elemental hero and one monster of the chosen attribute. Which means not only does it work quite well with random heroes, so you only have to have one hero of the right element and a hero of any type, but also really works well with tag teams, because you can just grab one of their elements and throw out a really big monster. So that's my Nature Hero deck. Hope you enjoy us, and I'll put some more videos up soon.